Why, hi there. It's Fowl Gaming here, otherwise known as Charlie, and welcome to episode number 22 of Coop Corner Chat. I hope you're all doing well. As you can tell, I'm particularly energetic today, and that's because I finally finished my stream setup. Yes, that is right. I have finally managed to get my stream set up how I envisioned it when moving into the new house. And today, to do something a bit different, I mean, it's not really that different. The last week's video is similar to this. We're going to be doing a bit of a tour. So where last week we had a look at the tour of the entire Coop, you are now going to have a tour of my streaming setup. So in particular, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through my entire physical setup. So what my PC build is, my peripherals, my streaming setup, so microphone, lights, all the rest of that jazz. We're going to have a look at how I manage my sound dampening and stuff like that. And then we're going to have a little look at my software. So for those that are interested in seeing how I run my streams on Streamlabs, you can see exactly what settings I use. Now, there'll be timestamps down below to see all of the different sections of this video, so if you want to skip to a certain one, you are more than welcome. But just like normal, let's start with the Coop news. Now, in all fairness, we're going to keep it relatively short for Coop news this week. All I really wanted to say was, guys, if you're watching this video, either the day it came out or maybe a couple of days late, don't forget to jump into February's giveaway. All you need to do is click on the link down below for the February giveaway video and leave a comment with however you thought about the video, whatever you thought about the video, plus your Discord name if it's different to your YouTube one. So please make sure you do that, guys, if you want to have a chance to win Discord Nitro or a Steam gift voucher. Anyway, let's get straight into the first part, which is going to be looking at my physical setup. Now, to do that, I'm not actually going to show you the PC. I think you all know what a PC looks like. I'm simply just going to tell you what specs PC I have. I'm going to put them up on the screen around here. Yeah, probably around there. Actually, maybe over here. Yeah, that looks better. So my PC specs, I'm going to go through them really quickly because my PC specs aren't what defines how I stream. You know, someone could have exactly the same stream setup as I do with a different PC. I have quite an overkill PC. I'll quickly go through it. So my PC parts are as follows. I have a Ryzen 9 5900 X Pro, CPU, the 5000 series one that came out, which is 12 core, 24 threads. Yeah, I think that's right. I have a 3080 graphics card, specifically the MSI Gaming X Trio. I have a Gigabyte motherboard. I have a SSD, so an M.2 SSD of 1 terabyte. RAM, I have 32 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz speed RAM, RGB, of course. And I have a lovely air-cooled case, nice big case with lots of fans in it, that sort of jazz. That's my PC setup. Like I said, that doesn't really matter too much to my streaming. And if you want to see that full list again, or if you want to see it in more detail, exact PC parts, you can actually see it down below my Twitch stream. Anyway, let's look at the parts of my streaming setup which actually matters, and that is the microphone, lights, and all the rest of it. So I'm actually going to switch to my phone so that I can show you my streaming setup whilst we do it. So a little bit of movie magic, and let's swap over to my phone. Hello again. So now we are in a bit of a dark room, as you can tell by this horrible camera quality, because the actual light is behind that curtain. So as you can see, we have my wife's gaming setup here, and behind that we have a big curtain. Now this is used to dampen the sound. So let's switch a look at my physical gaming setup. So we have a curtain pole which separates the two gaming setups. So let's slide this curtain back and have a little look. Let's start with the gaming peripherals. So I have a mouse, which I've put the product details on the screen now. Essentially, it's a Gladiator wired mouse, very, very light. I have myself a Alienware keyboard, again, the specs of which will now be on the screen, with a Razer mousepad, to be exact, on a random branded Ultimate Gaming mouse pad. So those are my gaming peripherals. I also have an Alienware headset as well, specs which will be on the screen. In terms of my monitor setup, I use two monitors. So I have a middle screen there, which is a 27-inch, 144Hz, 1440p Acer screen. And on the left-hand side, the same branded screen, but at a smaller 24 inches, at 1080p, but still 144 Hz in vertical position. So that means that I can see Twitch chat and Discord chat a bit better. Now these screens are mounted on arms back there, so that means that it kind of gives you a nice floating desk look. I've tried my best to cable manage as well. So that is my basic gaming setup. Obviously my PC is down there itself in all its RGB gloriness. But let's look at the bit that actually matters, which is the streaming setup. So I'm going to go through all the devices individually, starting with one of the most important ones, a nice microphone. So I use the Elgato Wave 3, which is a USB condenser microphone with built-in clip protection and loads of other lovely features, which as you can see is on a nice little boom arm with the wire neatly tucked away, where I can have free movement to move it closer or farther away as I need it, or completely out of the shot if I'm not needing it at all. As for my camera, I have a Canon EOS M200 mirrorless camera with a nice flip up screen with a 15 to 45 millimeter millimeter lens, which has a clean HDMI output, which goes to my Razer capture card, which then displays it on the screen, which you've all seen already. To help see me a little bit better, I have got these two bright LED panels, which are controllable via a controller you can see down there in the center of my desk. These are actually, believe it or not, on the dimmest settings right now, and that's what I use currently for stream. You can also see for my assistance, I've got my Stream Deck. So this is what you see me press whenever I want to change scenes. So what I have on my Stream Deck, let's just show you what I have available to you. So this is my standard Stream Deck setup. I have my different scenes. So I have, for example, if I kind of show you both, I have my chat screen, I have my what's this one? My Dead by Daylight screen. And as you click it, it will change to the screen that you would like. And quite nicely, you can see it's got my logo in the background, and whichever one you're on, you can tell with the nice little red lighting. I can also clip anything. So if something was to funny happen in the stream, all I have to do is click on that and it will clip it for me. If I want Tweet to go live, I can. I can also do automatic chat messages. So if I click on this, it takes me to a separate screen where if I wanted to, for example, promote my wife, I could press wife promo, and that would now post the command in my chats. So sometimes when you see me put those commands quickly in chat, I'm using that. I do also have a soundboard, but I haven't used that in a while, and most of these don't actually work anymore. You can see the little triangle coming up because it hasn't got the sound file, but I'll maybe fix that in the future. So that's my little Stream Deck that I use, which is tucked away just neatly in front of my mouse so I can quickly use my right hand to get at it. And you can also see behind the desk, I've got a few more sound dampening panels. You can probably tell by the microphone on my phone here that without this curtain pulled across, this room does have a lot of natural reverb. So by using those panels and this nice curtain, it stops the reverb quite a lot. Down there is just my speaker setup. I've got my nice ergonomic chair. I've moved away from the gaming chair ranges because I find that they're not that comfy, whereas this now has proper back support, which you can adjust up, down, left, right, and all around, and a proper adjustable headrest as well. And it's a nice comfy mesh seat, which gives you plenty of comfort. So there we go. That is the actual physical part of my streaming setup. I'm very, very proud of it. You already see it behind the stream. This obviously doesn't affect the actual stream itself, but obviously it's nice to have some stuff in the background. This is my shelving unit which I've got, which has some of my memorabilia. I'm yet to fill it out completely and yet to mix it around, but that is obviously nice for now. I like this little backdrop as well, just to make it colourful, and I've actually also put that there to assist with sound dampening. I've got the Philips Hue bulbs, both one in the standard light and one little sound bar over there, which that's what I use on stream to get the nice colour in the background. So there we go. That is what my actual physical setup looks like. Let's get back on the PC and I'll give you a quick tour of my software setup.
Welcome back. So now we've had a little look at the physical setup I've got in my room. Let me give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the software that I use. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the things like Discord and Twitch settings, because those are things that could take hours to go through. What I'm going to show you guys is my Streamlabs settings and the settings that I use for a couple of my programs. So to begin with, let's have a little look at my Streamlabs settings. So I'm going to go onto a different scene here. You are going to see me go, woo, like there's loads of me now. But that doesn't matter, because we're going to have a look at my Streamlabs settings. Now, hopefully you can see this nice and clearly on my screen. Can I make that bigger? I can. I'm going to make it a bit bigger so it covers the screen a little bit, so at least you don't see all that. But if I put it here, there we go. I'm still here. So I'm just going to go show you my basic settings. Now, to begin with, looking at my output. So when I stream, I go with my encoder. Now, a lot of people will choose to use their GPU to stream. I personally have a good enough CPU to stream that I don't want to take away from my GPU. I find that I get better results for it. I use CBR rate control, 6000 bit rate, keyframe interval of 2 with a CPU usage preset of slow, and a profile of high. I'm not going to explain what each of those things mean. That's just my setup for those that want to know. As for my video settings, so obviously my base canvas resolution is 1440p, QHD, which is my screen, and my output scale resolution, I use 1080. I use sharpen scaling of 32 samples for the downscale filter, FPS type 60 FPS. So that is my general stream settings, but let's have a look at the settings that I use for my audio, as that's something that's obviously very, very important when streaming. Obviously, when it comes to the visuals, I obviously have my own overlays and things like that. I'm not going to go through the in-depthness of all my overlays. You can all do your own. But looking at my mixer, okay, so let's go to this screen here and have a look at my mixer down here. I'm actually going to get rid of my camera for a second so you guys can see it properly. So you can see here, I capture my main audio through what comes through my headphones, rather than desktop audio. It means that I know for a fact what I'm hearing in my headphones is what stream is. I have that set to minus 17.8 decibels with no filters on it. I then have my microphone in. So the Elgato microphone I have has a separate program, which I'll bring up here. So you can see the wave link. This just gives me a bit more control over the gain and things like that. But all you really need to know is basically my microphone comes through this, and there you go. You can see it here. I have it set to minus 9 decibels. You can see it's just tickling the yellow zone, which is kind of what you want. In my actual settings, I've got some filters, and this is what I have. So I use noise suppression at minus 20. I use noise, that gets rid of some of the hiss in the background. I use noise gate so that you don't hear my tippy taps of my keyboard. I have the open threshold to minus 25 for this recording. I normally have it around minus 16 when Ria's in the room, and then minus 60 for the closing threshold. The attack time, hold time, release time, I don't change. I have a compressor set to the settings you can see there. And I also use a VST plugin, which is for an EQ. You can see it there. If you want to Google that yourself, you absolutely can. And if I open the interface, where is it? There you go. You guys can see this is what my equalizer looks like. For those that understand equalizers and how they work, you can see what I've got there. I've got a bit of a low pass, a bit of a high pass, slightly reduced mid, and slightly increased kind of higher tones around the 3 to 5K. Okay, and there we go. So that is a brief look into my stream setup. You guys have seen my PC, you've seen my physical setup and what components I use, and you've seen my stream settings and audio settings. Hopefully that has given you a good idea of how to potentially look at upgrading your own system, or if you're getting into streaming, what to potentially aim for. And if you're maybe struggling with what settings to go for, that might give you an indication. Now, keep in mind that it all depends on how much money you want to put in. It all depends on what setup you have. It all depends, already. It all depends on, the room that you're in as well when it comes to sound. There's so many variables when it comes to stream setup. Hopefully, it's been useful to you. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Coop Corner Chat episode 22. Have a great rest of your day. I've been Fowl Gaming. Stay wholesome. Goodbye.